Saipan is an island that has been recreated many times over. After nearly 100 years of abandonment under Spanish rule, it was repopulated at the turn of the 20th century. Following the Japanese takeover in 1914, Saipan quickly became the vital center of Japan's Pacific possessions and the heart of its island economy, driven primarily by sugarcane production. This era brought about a significant transformation of the island, with an influx of Japanese settlers and laborers who developed extensive infrastructure. Roads, ports, and impressive sugar mills were constructed, dramatically reshaping the island's landscape as traditional practices adapted to this rapid industrialization. These substantial demographic shifts also created new dynamics within the community. The Second World War brought a brutal end to this segment of the island's history. But after the war, Saipan sank back into obscurity. Within a few years, Saipan was declared off-limits for everyone, since it was being used as a CIA training center for the invasion of the China mainland. Visitors were very few, carefully vetted, and brought to their destination in a bus with darkened windows as a security precaution.
In the late 50s, we had the CIA operating out of Saipan. Well, they were training soldiers of Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek was driven out of China by Mao Zedong. And he lost that leadership in China, so he ran away to Taiwan. But Chiang Kai-shek was a good close friend of the U.S., especially the military people, so they decided to help him. They wanted to train his soldiers so that he could go back and reinvade China. And by doing that, they used our island of Saipan as the training ground.
So summertime we go, and suddenly we saw this huge truck. So we pull over because my sister and I, we were playing the rope, jumping rope. And exactly for what reason, when they pass us, they open huge canvas. And both sides of that huge truck, all soldiers, but they all look like this, slanted eyes, and completely they shaved the hair.
Mapi was closed down by the CIA. It became a training ground, maneuvering and even bombing practice, all kinds of military, tactics to train them to become good soldiers.
I became a security guard. We were basically tasked to make sure that people don't enter restricted area.
Access to the restricted area was strictly forbidden. The Asian soldiers undergoing training were intentionally kept unaware of their precise location. And any identifying markers, such as the name Saipan, were hidden to maintain the secrecy of the operation.
Every time they had to go out, anything that shows Saipan, they cover. Whenever they take them out, they cover the word Saipan so that they don't know that they're on Saipan. They know that they're in an island, but they do not know they're on Saipan.
During the 50s, Americans tried to set up a program where the adults can go out to farm rather than just stay there doing nothing. So every day, the truck comes over to the place to Suzuki and loaded the people to go out to farm.
But in the beginning, nobody has a car. Only the military has cars. Just jeep, no sedan.
Saipan and Tinian was part of the military, the naval administration. Rota was part of the trust territory, and it was ministered out of Guam. The only way you can get in to Saipan is to get a military clearance.
In late 1962, all that changed under President John F. Kennedy. Following the disaster at the Bay of Pigs, the failed attempt to win back Cuba from Fidel Castro, Kennedy suddenly called off the training program on Saipan to invade China. CIA operations on Saipan were shut down. Saipan was once again open for business. A new era for the island, long neglected by colonial powers and its own neighbors, had begun.
And when Kennedy got in, he had his own Peace Corps program, as well as, more active in promoting Micronesians to prepare themselves for, eventual self-government. So there was a very active drive by the Kennedy administration to sort of Americanize the trust territory. And they do this by bringing in U.S. administrators.
Kennedy also wanted to open the entire trust territory at that time. With the new thrust toward modernization, many changes would take place. Meanwhile, U.S. funding was greatly increased.
The U.S. government is pumping in all kinds of money. Through the, of course, the Department of Interior had been appointed by Kennedy a long, long time ago, in the 60s, when Kennedy started focusing on developing the Micronesian islands. He'll make sure that he would have programs and money to help support his own program.
This whole area of Micronesia became an interest on the part of the United States. It's a national security interest. Kennedy wanted to offer the entire Micronesian islands statehood, and we could have possibly been the 51st state. He basically said, I want to put together a team, and we want to go out there and beef up the education system. Went to Congress and asked for financial assistance to pour into Micronesia so that we can demonstrate that we are progressing in a way that will be satisfactory to the UN.
Saipan emerged as the central hub of the trust territory of the Pacific Islands. This shift represented a pivotal change as the territory expanded to encompass the Northern Mariana Islands, accompanied by a significant influx of funding from the U.S. government, establishing a new headquarters on Capitol Hill. Infused the area with government activity. Former CIA housing was even remodeled to host the surge of new workers. This transition marked the beginning of a new phase of growth and attention on the islands, positioning Saipan at its core. Consequently, the increase in government operations attracted numerous new residents as Americans arrived to occupy roles in the developing TT headquarters.
The Department of Interior sent out people. And basically these are people that are about ready to retire. So where else do you think they send them to? Micronesia. And wait out for their retirements, and they still get the US government pension.
Then there were the Micronesians who took government positions.
I know Dwight Heine, I spent time with him. He became this very influential guy, very smart person. So he became I think the Deputy High Commissioner one time, right?
And also Masaaki was there, Agnes was there.
Dale Pangalinan's dad was from Saipan. But he called, he retained the Pangilinan name. But his other brother, his name is Herman, was my classmate in truck. In truck. Herman Semes.
Justin Maglonia, Ed Tebinyo.
Hillary Tachilio, John Heine.
The twin brothers, John Segra and Fred Segra, they were my classmates also. The other Segra was who became a doctor, was the brother of the twins. The twins are John and Fred. And the younger doctor, was Arthur Segra. He became an MD. What's the other guy's name? Become a judge. Judah Johnny.
Trying to remember, but those are the two of them are the most colorful people. They tell jokes all the time. So when we get together, half the time we hear jokes. I mean, it's
As the number of employees grew, easy friendships developed across cultural lines. However, disputes also arose at times, particularly over the significant salary disparities.
You have the U.S. Civil Service, and those are basically people from the Department of Interior that were sent out here. And then the second one is U.S. national higher pay. And then you have third country nationals, which is higher pay than the locals. And then at the bottom is the Micronesians, including people over here.
But the amount of check was based on what we earned back then. And back then it was 35 cents an hour, 40 cents an hour, 60 cents an hour. We sued the trust territory government because we're giving the minimum wage, while our Western counterpart, they were giving the US minimum wage. So there was a massive lawsuit, and I was a member of that.
The population of Saipan grew rapidly from 7,000 in 1960 to 12,000 a few years after the transfer of the capital to the island. The move of the capital to Saipan brought more jobs and higher salaries for local people. With money to spend, their lifestyle changed, as did the island around them.
They start bringing in cars from Guam, some cars, but not that many. Only people that can afford. Still don't have car, we still ride in our karetangwaka.
Before long, the number of cars on the road multiplied as more islanders could afford them, while the streets were widened and paved. Stores grew from their humble origins, and businesses expanded.
The first business that I know of was Joten. Joten, somehow, he has a connection with Japan. And he got materials and stuff and everything from Japan. How he got the connection, I don't know. But he has a house, and he made the porch of his house, he turned it into the place for us to go and buy stuff. Some food, some, for the kids, little toys.
I think it's right after the war. Mr. Villagomez, Manny, have a small, like a small tin store between the post office and the theater back then. There was a small store there that Mr. Villagomez started his business.
My dad, basically one of the first one to the bakery, and then he have a store, a general store. Joten, I think, start 5 or 6 years later. But Joten, actually, my parents, helped them, give them a little capital to start their business.
The early hotels and bars gave way to those that would follow.
Oh, Microhan was the famous bar back then, owned by my friend, what is Elias Okamura, I believe. Yeah, Okam, yeah. Microhan, the famous bar on the island. Just bars, sell beer, no dancing girls, just drinking. I don't know who started, but it was probably the first modern hotel at the time. Later Hyatt came into picture, but the Royal Taga was the first one.
My dad was running that theater, the one by where you go to Lalifor, that as you turn to go over there, that area over there, there used to be a Quonset building over there way back, and there was a movie theater, but Matsumoto also has a movie theater. But back then, you make do with what you have.
The media also experienced significant growth in popularity during the 1960s.
All the neighbors, because not everybody have TV. And I remember they were all in the windows. The Chamorro house that time, all wooden with no screen. It's a huge window. And all the kids in the neighbors would be like this. And we were aspirants, so when I passed over there, because those were the time that the Mercedarian sister, they cannot walk by themselves. They have to take somebody. So if a nun walk, she has to take one of the aspirants. So that's how I noticed everybody like this in the window. I think you has the TV, right? Not everybody have the TV. Yeah.
Not so much TV, but the radio station, KGQR, I think that was the first radio station on the island. And it was stationed at the Royal Tag Hotel, I think upstairs. It was KGQR, that was the name of our radio station.
New schools opened, and old ones were renovated, thanks to the emphasis on education development. Mount Carmel School, founded a decade earlier, expanded into a high school with boarding facilities for girls. Mount Carmel was a magnet for the education of talented females from other islands. Mount Carmel became for girls what Xavier High School in Chuuk was for boys. The number of young Micronesian women from the islands on Saipan was growing.
In high school, that's where we met the Micronesians, the ladies from, Palau, Chuuk, Pohnpei, the residents, Basilia Guilmeti. She's from Pohnpei. Oh, of course, Jusina Yangilmo, no? Elizabeth Ocreo from Palau. No, Marta Paulus was from Pohnpei, from Kapingamarangay. There's another lady married to Tony Gangian. Tony, the former governor of Yap. I forgot the name. Yeah. Barbara Ligaroy. Barbara Ligaroy. Her brother is Sebastian Anafalt. Barbara from Yap. So, she was a Kabua, married to Mori in Chuuk. Susana.
Before long, the Trust Territory Nursing School moved to Saipan, increasing the number of Micronesian women from other islands studying there. The Congress of Micronesia began in 1965. With its meeting place on Saipan, it remained a gathering spot for Micronesian leaders and a place to visit to stay informed about the political developments unfolding in island Micronesia.
Who are the famous people that we know? See, Petro Tun, no? Who's the one that used to, is he the one that sometimes he jokes around? No, yes. Mandafel.
Kiborha was the sergeant at arms, and Cisco Ulodong was the other sergeant at arms. Luke the Man, Charles Dominic, Tony de Brung was, I think, a staff then. Of course, I didn't associate with them, but, I would be the one carrying papers and Heine, Carl.
Nakayama. I can see their faces. I'm having difficulty remembering their names, but...
Soon after the founding of the Congress of Micronesia, the issue of political status became a major topic of discussion. The Political Status Commission was then formed. Naturally, this left an imprint on the Northern Mariana Islands as well.
Territorial and the Popular Party. At that time, they were united in one specific interest, and that is to try and join with Guam.
The two groups will be riding on the pickup, and these are the middle age, like our age now, and they're very vocal. Who's going to be popular, who's going to be territorial.
They see Guam as a very progressive place. You got a lot of good things, good education over there, jobs, even the health services is good. So there's that interest to see maybe we should join up with Guam, because it's the easiest way to become a part of the United States is to join with Guam.
New opportunities for economic growth opened within a few years. Business development on Saipan, fueled by the island's quick growth during that short period, paved the way for Saipan to become a tourist destination. Continental Airlines, which began flights in 1966, introduced a new era in air travel. Tourism grew rapidly, from 8,000 visitors in 1968 to 16,000 in 1969. The Royal Taga Hotel, the first modern hotel, was built in approximately 1970. By 1975, approximately 50,000 visitors per year were visiting Saipan.
The tourism actually became started out seriously with the coming of Continental Airlines, which opened up its ownership to Micronesian. So it's called a Continental Air Micronesia, and the biggest investor, Micronesian investor, was the United Micronesian Development Association, UMDA. And that's when there were agreements, I guess, made by the partners, the UNBA and Continental, part of their support of the politicians and the investors there. And there were some, pretty well-to-do investors that invest in the Micronesian, Air Micronesia. They require that Air Micronesia develop a hotel in each of the district center.
About the same time, the Royal Taga was going up, but my dad was bringing Japanese already. One point, they wanted to collect the bones, and my dad was very instrumental in that one. So they were helping the Japanese collect bones. Half a day, it was basically a bungalows style. And there used to be a teppanyaki just right on the beach. Very good one.
The 1960s were the glory years in many ways. Saipan emerged as the capital. Its economy grew, as did its population. And the early tourist industry offered hope for the future. Saipan held a regional leadership position while serving as the capital of the Trust Territory for 10 years. During this time, hundreds of other Micronesians were integrated into the community, and friendships across island lines flourished. During the late 1960s, as we have seen, Saipan and the rest of the Northern Mariana Islands, along with the other island groups of the Trust Territory, became absorbed in the question of their future political status. Would they remain a part of the U.S.? Or would they choose to become independent?
When this self-determination was starting to be a very serious discussion, the U.S., prior to the Northern Marianas entering into some discussions about being a commonwealth or being a part of the United States, the U.S. came to Micronesia and basically offered the entire Micronesia commonwealth status.
And then when Saipan actually got the United States to be part of the U.S., that's when Guam started wanting to join Saipan, and Saipan said, no, we don't want you.
The Northern Marianas reached out to Guam, and we basically said, we want integration with Guam. We want to be integrated with Guam. And we asked Guam if they want integration with the Northern Marianas, and they said no. 2 years later, we came back, we asked the same thing over, and the people of Guam said no.
Our elders back then, we started out first to united with Guam, and then Guam turned us down. So our elders decided to negotiate directly with the United States, and that's when the move started. We started moving forward, and we became where we are today. We become part of the United States.
But there were divisions even within the population of Saipan.
There was that ill feeling between the parties, especially our friends from Guam. And I was a police officer back then. As you go down, make a left turn to the post office, tomorrow on this side of the street, Carolinian on this side of the street. It's a hot topic. And I was a policeman. I have to call the fire truck and have that fire truck sit in the middle of the street. On the left side of the street, towards the post office, the tomorrow will put on a pole a red cloth, and they'll swing that. You Carolinian, this is the only attire you have. You have nothing. So the ladies, side of the street, they'll go out and get a bark of, what do you call that bark? We call it Wilfay in Carolinian. So they'll pull the bark, tie up at the end of the street, and they'll wave it. Tomorrow, this is all you cover your butt.
In 1970, the Northern Marianas Legislature endorsed the Commonwealth. In 1972, it was the U.S. that agreed to a separate negotiation.
In 74, the Marianas got out of, they tried to get out of Congress of Micronesia by, saying that we want to have separate status. We don't want what the Micronesians are negotiating.
Let me just say that if Kennedy had not been assassinated and lived on, in my opinion, Micronesia would have been the 51st state.
The year 1975, a pivotal moment for the Northern Mariana Islands. It was then that the decision was finalized. The people had spoken, and their future path was clear. In March of that year, the covenant was signed, an agreement that would then be submitted to the United States Congress for approval. The final step in this process occurred the following year, when President Gerald Ford officially signed it into law. the adoption of Commonwealth status, Saipan had to shed its strong regional ties. Yet, the future looked bright with hope. Saipan was at the start of a promising tourist industry, with its new air service and the construction of the first in a series of large hotels. The changes in Saipan's landscape were also becoming apparent, including the movement of the population center from Chalan Kanoa back to Garapan. It was the Japanese again, this time not as overlords, but as tourists.
Upon the hill lies the village of the place that I love best. In my home in Saipan, where the roses bloom no more.
In late 1962, the Northern Marianas was joined to the rest of Trust territory and transferred from naval to civilian administration. For the next 10 years, Saipan would be linked to the other islands in the area. But by 1972, the Northern Marianas had made the decision to become a commonwealth. Thereafter, they were part of the Trust territory in name only. Saipan's focus after this was largely on self-government, developing its tourist industry, accommodating the migrants it had to bring in to take the jobs its own people could not fill, and dealing with the social issues all this brought about. The 10-year period of Saipan's reunion with the rest of Micronesia had come to an end. With the adoption of Commonwealth status in 1975, a definitive new era dawned for Saipan, one that would shape its identity and trajectory for decades to come, building upon its remarkable history of transformation.
For me back on the hill, I'll be happy all my life if she will be my wife, and I'll be happy in my home in Saipan. When it's night in my dreams, take me back across the sea, back along the rocks on the hill, where the roses bloom no more, by my little rancho door, in my home on the hills of Saipan. When it's night in my dreams, take me back across the sea, back along the rocks on the hill, where the roses bloom no more, by my little rancho door, in my home on the hills of Saipan. I've got a sweetheart waiting there, with dark eyes and curly hair, waiting for me back on the hill. I'll be happy all my life if she will be my wife, and I'll be happy in my home inside.